Excuse me, bringing you live now to Concord, New Hampshire. The Attorney General is giving an update after a couple reported missing were found shot to death.
Stephen Reed and Jess Wendy Reed, who went by Wendy, spelled W-E-N-D-E, in the area of the Broken Ground Trails, which are off of Portsmouth Street in Concord. Specifically, their bodies were recovered from a wooded area that's in close proximity to the Marsh Loop Trail. The Reeds were first reported missing by a family member on Wednesday, April 20th, when Stephen did not arrive for a planned event. Following that initial report, significant search efforts were undertaken by the Concord Police Department with the assistance of the New Hampshire State Police and the Central New Hampshire Special Operations Unit. As a result of those efforts, the Reeds' bodies were finally found yesterday. Investigative work by the Concord Police Department has continued throughout last night and has continued throughout the day today, with the assistance of other law enforcement agencies. Following the recovery of their bodies, autopsies were conducted today by Deputy Chief Medical Examiner Mitchell Weinberg. Dr. Weinberg determined that the cause of Stephen Reed's death was multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of his death was homicide. The cause of Wendy Reed's death was also multiple gunshot wounds, and the manner of her death was also homicide. Given that this is now an ongoing homicide investigation, there's limited information I'll be able to tell you here today. However, I will briefly discuss the timeline of the Reeds' last known whereabouts and activities. The investigation to date has revealed that the Reeds, left their residence in the Alton Woods apartment complex at approximately 2:22 p.m. on the afternoon of Monday, April 18th. They then went for a walk that led them to the area of the Broken Ground Trails. Family and friends did not see or hear from them after that. So anyone who saw the Reeds that Monday afternoon, anyone walking on those trails, anyone who has any information related to their disappearance or deaths are asked to contact the Concord Police Department about anything that they saw or heard that afternoon. In addition, anyone in the area along where the Reeds walked that day, from Alton Woods to Portsmouth Street to the Broken Ground Trails, who has a home or business security or video surveillance system, is asked to review those recordings to determine if the Reeds or anyone else were captured on those videos. Anyone who may have a game camera in the area of Alton Woods or the Broken Ground Trails is also asked to review any recordings to determine if the Reeds or anyone else were captured by their cameras. The Concord Police Department can be reached at 603-225-8600, or tips can also be submitted anonymously by contacting the Concord Regional Crime Line. The number for that is 603-226-3100. Tips can also be submitted online through the Crime Line website at concordregionalcrimeline.com, or text message tip 234 and your message to crimes. The number for that is 274-637. The Regional Crime Line awards cash to anyone whose information directly leads to information concerning the Reeds' murders. All tips can remain anonymous. Having said all of that, I'm able to take again some questions, and we'll be able to provide limited information given the ongoing nature of the investigation.
Jeffrey, were they, you said they were shot multiple times. Are you looking for a killer or killers?
So what I can tell you at this stage in the investigation is we're looking for anyone with information, anyone who may have been involved. I can't give you any more details in terms of the multiple gunshot wounds at this point.
Does this appear to be random or something else?
I can't speculate on that at this time.
But all you know is they were going for a walk, and then they're dead.
Correct.
4 days later.
Well, they're not dead 4 days later.
But that's what you found.
That's what we find, correct. But I can't speculate as to this point.
Can you tell us who found them?
I can tell you the investigators searching the area found them.
What led you to the area?
I can't comment on that.
In the release, you mentioned that residents of the area are encouraged to be vigilant. Could you expand on what you mean by that?
You know, we have no specific information that would lead us to believe that the public in general is at any risk. That being said, be vigilant, take your normal daily precautions. The Concord Police will continue to be vigilant with patrols in those areas and in areas where there's public outdoor recreation spaces. So that's what I can say as to that.
Earlier you had said you increase patrols?
Sorry, one at a time.
Earlier you had said they had no domestic issues, there were no problems with neighbors. Any indication on how this could have transpired, given that they had no known enemies?
So again, where we're going from a missing persons investigation to now an ongoing criminal investigation, I really can't comment on their history or any of that in order to preserve the integrity of the investigation going forward.
Will police step up patrols?
And so,
Since this happened in that area, will you increase what you're already doing there, or?
so what the Concord police tell me again is that they will continue to be vigilant with the patrols in those areas following this event, as well as other outdoor recreation areas in the city of Concord.
Any incidents in that area in the past, of violent incidents or anything, any reason you've been paying attention to it, even up to now?
Nothing to this degree, obviously.
Is it safe to go on these trails right now? I mean, it seems, I mean, you haven't been able to say whether it's random or targeted.
Mm-hmm.
Can people feel safe about going on the Marsh Loop Trail and other trails in that area?
So what I can say to people is what I've said, is that we have no specific information to lead us to believe that the public is generally in any danger. You know, that being said, people should remain vigilant. Anything suspicious they see or observe, you know, should be reported to the Concord Police Department immediately, and take normal precautions as you go about your daily life.
To confirm, you guys do not have a suspect?
So I can't comment on that.
Did the Reeds go hiking there quite often? Is that a place they normally went to?
So the information that came out, I believe, yesterday with respect to where they went hiking was in what I can say is that general area.
Chief, can we just ask you your reaction to all this? It's your community. People would say stuff like this doesn't happen in places like Concord, New Hampshire. Can you step up to the microphone and just offer some reasons that, you know, we talked to residents today that are in sheer panic right now, scared to leave their houses. What do you say to people tonight in the wake of what's happened?
Well, I've always said that Concord is one of the safest cities in the safest states in the United States. This is a tragedy. It's something that it came out of nowhere, and we are doing our due diligence, investing all of our resources, working with our state and local partners to bring this case to a successful resolution.
But it would be a smart idea for people in that area to lock their doors because you have a killer on the loose?
It's always smart to lock your doors and be vigilant.
And is this upsetting to you, or what is this for you? People are just digesting this information. I mean, yesterday it went from a missing persons case, 24 hours later we're standing here talking about a husband and wife just went out for a walk on a Monday and are dead.
So I'll step in there just because, again, with the ongoing nature of the investigation, we have to be careful about what we say, given that this is now a criminal investigation. Obviously, it's a tragic set of circumstances, and our thoughts and sympathies are with the Reed family, but we have to be careful about what we say in that account.
Did the autopsy indicate a time of death?
Autopsies, it did not. Autopsies generally do not indicate a time of death. That's not something that medical examiners generally opine on with any specificity.
Do you think it happened on Monday, or do you think it was at what time Monday?
Again, you know, what we're interested in is people specifically throughout the week, but if people specifically encountered them or have any information about anyone they saw or anything they observed in that area of the broken ground trails on Monday afternoon, that's the time frame we're looking at.
Thank you very much. Whether this happened while they were on the trail and then they were leaving?
I can't comment on that.
Attorney Ward, if I
Thank
could
you all.